Hey everyone, this is Ty from Tennessee. You wanted the best, you got the best. It's time for Coffee with HDR.
Okay. All right. So you would have thought I would have done a sound level check on before I started, right? You know how that goes. Just like at times, we don't have the microphone plugged in for our Sennas or our microphones for our GoPros, right? That happens. We should have audio now. Everybody, turn your mic on, Jack. Better. Everybody's saying better, 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 better. There we go. Okay. So, all right. So, let's talk a little bit about. We're gonna go through these openers again here. Good morning and welcome back once again to Coffee with HDR. Sorry for the technical difficulties. When you run multiple computers and multiple YouTube channels, I was recording some stuff from my other YouTube channel on another computer, and I was using the same mic. Hence, that's the problem. Now, why I didn't do an audio check before I started the stream? Well, that's a question for all of us, right? All right, let's go back up here. Smyrna Cowboy, I was saying good morning to you, and I see that you are currently going to get that oil changed on that beautiful Can-Am Spider, man. That means you're riding it. And that's the biggest thing with bikes and whatever we have in our garage. Get them out there and ride, man. HCAV Traveler, good morning. Chuck Henson, Captain Ed, Harley 103, Minnow Moto, good morning. The real Jackie Boy's in the house, not to be confused by the fake one. We've been chit-chatting back and forth. I think it just started raining outside. Ty from Tennessee's in the house. Good morning. And that great opener again, Ty. Thank you so much for recording that. Um, we'll talk about those intros there in a minute. Jim Reynolds, good morning to you. The Dusty Chronicles, HDAV Traveler, lovely Luella, and Mrs. Jackie Boys, both, aka Mrs. Jackie Boy. I like that lovely Luella. Where did you get that name from your name? I don't know. I'm sure there's a story behind that. And one day, you may just have to tell us the story. Harley Throttle Juice is in the house from Australia, from down and below in Australia. And I gotta show you guys what Harley Throttle Juice sent us. I'm going to text Mrs. HDR. I know this is incredibly non-professional. Um, can you bring up and I can't spell this. Oh, I spelled it. All right. Because I want to show this on the show. And this is just one of those gestures, guys and girls out there, that is absolutely, it's just heartfelt. When somebody sends you a package in the mail, right? And we all do this, right? We get the stickers, we send a sticker, you get that package in the mail, and you're like, wow, what could be in that package? And this is really interesting. But I'm going to show you what Harley Throttle Juice actually sent here to the States, to me in the Fireside Chat gang. Dean C., good morning. HDAV Traveler, good morning to you. Will Henderson, good morning. Harley Throttle Juice, as I said, I'm going through these as fast as I can here so we don't get too backed up. Can't hear you now. Harley 103. Now you can, right? Captain Ed, thank you guys. HAV Traveler, thank you. Dusty Chronicles, you can't read my lips, but now you can hear my voice, right? You probably want to go back to reading my lips, right? That's what I would think. Anyway, just saying. Smyrny Cowboy, can't hear. Hey guys, Seashell, no audio HDR. Nancy Weems, can't hear you. I guess we all got audio now, right? Turn your mic on, Jack. From Judy, good morning. D.A. Bishop, good morning to you, sir. Nancy Weems. Harley Throttle Juice, no pants. I got pants on. Yep, I got pants on. You made me look. Bodine 52's in the house. Good morning, HDR and friends. Good morning, Bob. Good to have you in there this morning. We had a long conversation last night with Bodine. I did, trying to get his new. He bought a new Apple MacBook Air with the M1 processor, and we were trying to remedy some software issues on there. So hopefully, Bob, you got that done. If not, I'm sure I can talk to you and we can walk through that. It's very, very simplistic. You need to stop using the audio equipment you got at the fire sale at Radio Shack. Hey, Real Jackie Boy, does anybody remember what Radio Shack is? Jackie Boy, you're showing your age, brother. And I know you're about, well, I think you're younger than I am because we talked about that. Or we're pretty close in age, for sure. Bodine. Judy, HDV Traveler. Okay, I'm just going through making sure I got everybody here. Mike Bodine. Good morning, Mike. Good to have you back in the house here this morning. Yeah, Bodine. Look at that. Real Jackie Boy, huh? We're going to talk about a couple things today, man. Dragon Slayer 129. Oh, come on, Jack. Dragon Slayer, be nice. Man, you got to be polite in here, okay? 3 wheels, is fine. Whatever you're riding, 3 wheels. Yeah, don't say that. Be kind, Dragon Slayer. Be kind like you always are, okay? Bodine, Judy, Smyrna Cowboy, Dragon Slayer. Oh, Smyrna Cowboy. We don't have to worry about talking about it. We all know the situations, and I'm glad you ride, man. I am glad you're out there riding. I can't wait to ride with you, honestly. Be the Rider PA, good morning to you. Ride today, but not in the rain. It's a great day to ride today. If you want to ride in a typhoon, you can definitely do that. Viper 6 is in the house from Canada. We got Canada. We got Australia, man. We got South Dakota. We got people in here from around the globe. It's a worldwide broadcast. And, man, I do appreciate everybody in here. Let's see. Paul's in the house, and I was just thinking, Paul, the other day, you weren't at VAM this year, man. I don't think I seen a Indian motorcycle at VAM, Paul, because you weren't there to represent. So I don't think so. Bronco Ride made it in the house. Myself and Bronco Ride's already been talking on the phone this morning, and I told him it was very funny. I'll tell you about what was funny about that. Let's see. Be the Rider PA. Okay, I got everybody. So let me tell you what was very, very funny about that. Was this camera's going to refocus here. There we go. So whenever somebody's going to call me in the morning, unless you're Jim, Be the Rider PA, who will just call you, the proper way to call somebody in the morning is text them first and say, can I talk to you for a few seconds? And you're like, sure, absolutely. So I grabbed my phone because Miss HDR was sleeping, right? I want to be respectful. So I put my phone on silent. Well, when you use Apple products and you have an iPad in the other room, the iPad's going to ring. Well, the iPad was ringing in the other room, which was right outside the bedroom, which was not good for HDR. Even though then I answered it immediately. I took Colin out onto our front deck, and I was out there talking to Colin, and he's having some computer issues. So, and Colin brought up a very good point. I'm going to put this out there to everybody out there, okay? I don't know what your level of expertise is with technology. I have no idea. Right now, I have roughly, I think, 28 to 29 years in technology and computers. Guys, I started in computers when computers weren't cool, okay? People would call us nerdy, or, you're just weird. Why do you need a computer? Nobody will ever have one of those in their house, right? This is even way before the internet, right, that I was working with computers. So I've been doing it a very, very, very long time. To avoid talking on the phone, other than my 76-year-old dad, it's all text Minamoto. Um, I, I'll go by that too. We'll talk about that a little bit. I'm trying to see here. I am 43 and I remember Radio Shack, HDAV Traveler. Man, Radio Shack, man, was cool. It was super cool. I mean, this is something I was working on. So Radio Shack would do stuff like this. Let me see if I can pick this up and show you this on the camera. And if it'll focus that or not. Come on. But you can see here where these little LEDs are on here with this little microcontroller board. This is what I was working on for classes coming up because our school's getting ready to start. And I want to teach the kids microcontrollers. That's a microcontroller controlling different outputs to LEDs. And then we write code to control this controller, okay? People might say, HDR, well, that's kind of crazy. Why would you teach computer kids that? Guys, everything in your house right now is computerized, right? Even to the point where our thermostats in our garage and in our house, we can control from anywhere in the world over the internet. It's good and bad because things can get hacked, but that's the modern day society that we live in. But Radio Shack used to sell that stuff. Only closed up here 2 years ago. Rocky J said, hey, good morning, Rocky J. Glad to have you on board there. Commodore 64s, yes, if you remember those. Always went to Radio Shack to buy batteries, right? They had a great, remember they had that battery card where you can get like, I don't know, like a set of batteries or a battery every month. Remember that battery card? And you go in there and you get your battery and you'd walk out like $50 later in your wallet because you bought a bunch of other stuff. I used to build color organs, high school. Color organs. First computer was a Commodore VIC-20, no modem then either. No, there was no modem. People don't remember those days, man. You know, my daughter is a computer science professor at Janita College. Janita. I don't know. I know how to say it, but I just can't get it out. But Radio Shack was good for this stuff too. Now you got to buy this stuff online. So we buy these kits for the kids now, right? So in these kits, you may or may not know, there's things like resistors, right? And it won't focus. Focus. There you go. Resistors. Okay. Resistors, components, all kind of stuff in there. Basic electronic kits. So why do we do that? Why do we want the kids learning microcontrollers? Again, everything in your house is connected to the internet. Everything is a microcontroller, from your thermostats to your door locks to your garage door opener. Everything it's a controller, right? It receives a signal from, like your garage door opener, it receives a signal, and that microcontroller is programmed to do something. Open your door or close it. Okay. So we teach the kids how to write code. But in teaching somebody how to code, I also want the kids to be able to write machine-based code. All right. Machine-based code is like if you get a new printer and you plug it into the computer, somebody has to write the code to tell the computer what to do with that peripheral. So that's kind of where we get into with that. So why am I telling you this? What does it really matter? Well, the truth is, guys, most of your motorcycles and your cars are computer driven, right? They're computer oriented. There's computers in all of our vehicles nowadays. Look at all these like the Pan America. I got to experience a really up close personal some time with the Pan Americas when we were away, and I noticed that they have a digital dashboard, right? They don't have analog gauges anymore. That's all computerized, computer driven. And our kids have to know how to interact with that hardware, how to get into it, how to program it, how to fix it, right? Maybe they'll be needed for that one day. Who knows? So but anyway, that's why I brought that up here. But I mainly brought that up because you said Radio Shack. Bought my first Tandy from the Shack. I remember Tandy computers. I remember compact computers. Good morning, Money 7855. Glad to have you on board there with us this morning. Viper 6. Just make sure you don't touch a charge capacitor. And that was very funny because I just told Bronco Ride about that this morning. We were talking on the phone. I give my kids open lab time. Normally we try to, if we get everything done through the week, I'll do it on Fridays where they can work on any project as long as it's computer oriented, computer based, right? Don't sit and play on your phone, play games. And it was really interesting because the one student came up and said, hey, Mr. HDR, because that's what they refer to me as, of course. Mr. HDR, do you care if I open up a power supply? And I'm like, you know what? Nah, go ahead, get it. And this other kid was like, just blown away. He's like, you're going to allow him to open a power? Oh my God. Well, I said, well, don't plug it in, right? Just open up. See what he just wanted to know what's in it. How does it work? And from an engineering standpoint, that's what we do, right? We reverse engineer everything. Even if I look at somebody's software program, I look at what it does, and then I work my way backwards to see how they created it to make it do what it does. So I imagine a lot of us do it with motorcycles, right? If we have a motorcycle problem, how does it run normally, and what's it not doing now? We work our way backwards to try to figure that issue out. May have noticed that I have a couple Raspberry Pis in the drawer. Can you use them? Always, always. I don't know which Raspberry Pis you have. But yeah, we can always use stuff like that if you want to send it. I put a thing out years ago to people and nobody really responded. And I think I know why. Is I was looking for, I started a Facebook page. I don't remember exactly what it was because it didn't really take off the way I wanted to. What I was hoping to do was get people's old laptops, basically, because laptops are easy to kind of clean up, fix up, as long as they're working. Reload a fresh operating system on them. And I wanted to give those to kids in need, the kids that don't have access to a computer. There's still many kids out there, guys and girls in the world, that don't have access to technology. And we found that out during the height of the pandemic when kids would be calling us saying, we don't have a home computer to get on our classes. So we had to supply computers on a temporary basis to those kids. And I have some kids in my computer class that have cell phones, but they don't have a computer. So it's very hard for them to learn computers at home. So I was looking for that. I was looking for anybody like, hey, you ship them out, and I was going to start a little nonprofit type deal where I think it was called Computers for Kids, I believe is what the Facebook page was. But I just think it would be worthwhile. And I have a whole classroom of very eager technology students that can take those laptops, clean them up, and fix them. Now, here's why I don't think that this ever took off. And it's a privacy issue. I was talking to one of our old principals the other day, and I always get off on tangents and don't talk totally about motorcycles. I'm sorry about that. But this might help you, okay? This might help a little bit. So I was talking to that principal the other day, and I said, look, everything is going to change for the best. I started in the IT when I was in the U.S. Air Force back in '78, before there was such thing as IT. Yeah, we were just all nerds back then. So anyway, let's get back to the story. So I was telling the principal, I said, I think the main thing is people don't want to send us computers to work on because they're scared that we may see something on there that you didn't know was on there. Okay, it could be a financial record. It can be a picture of you, in your padded shorts. Maybe your wife took a picture of you, maybe on that computer. And I said the truth of it is, a good technologist, right? We live by a code, and I teach my kids this code. We fix your computer problem. We don't really snoop around your computer. We don't have time, and that's just unethical, okay? So much to the fact is I took my car in the other day. I had to get new tires put on my car. And when they pull up, I drove it into the bay. They lift it up. They never get inside the car, right? So here's the unethical part. So wonder if somebody's changing your tires and they're rooting through your glove box to see what private things might be in there. They don't do that because they live by a code of ethics. So do we. So what I'm saying, and the reason I'm telling you this is, if anybody ever sends us laptops, or you were talking about the Raspberry Pis, the first thing we do, we teach the kids at that point, if we're getting them in to keep them, to reissue them, is we wipe the hard drives out. Okay. And sometimes we actually take that hard drive out and we'll destroy the hard drive and put another hard drive in because we have a lot of hard drives. And hard drives for a computer classroom is not hard to come by. So that's kind of where we come up with that. I see Ty from Tennessee's in there. Good morning, Ty. Again, thank you so much for that opener. Keep telling HDR to look at the view. Laugh out loud. He is calling all the best names in the book. As he was calling all the best names in the book. Just going through some of these chat here. So that's why I'm looking down and not at you. I'm sorry about that. That does happen on a live stream. HTR, I looked at my phone at VAM. Thought I cleared it. Well, I had to look at that special picture. Remove all naked pictures first before donating, Ty said. And Ty, that's a very good policy. And Ty is in the technology business. He gets it. And he does know that we do live by a code of ethics. So it's unethical for me. I don't really care about your private life. You're doing us a favor if you send us computers in. I got some computers in one time. We got a call for a donation at the school, and I wrote out to the company and I picked them up. I think it was fires. They're like, well, they're really old and we don't really use them. And can you do anything with them? And even if my ninth graders can tear those apart, and we examine the parts in it to see, so they know what they are, and put them back together. I had one student last year that tore a computer apart and put it together. I bet you I had him do that, I don't know, 20 times over the year. And now he can build a computer from scratch in about a half hour. He's that good at it. He just knows exactly. He opens the boxes, prepares everything, looks at the case, and just goes to town. So that's how that works. But yeah, and be the right piece, so you can always do a factory reset. Windows has what's called a clean mode. You can do that. We actually use a program that is rated by the CIA, and it's called Zero Clean. So it actually writes zeros and ones across the hard drive in multiple fashions and deletes everything. Because if you think you deleted something off your computer, bring it over to me. I bet you I'll bring it back, and I'll be like, wow, look at that. So deleting a file, only thing that does on the computer is kind of hides it from the hardware, right? So file manager can't see it. It saves it. Think of the old record player with the grooves on it, and one of the grooves has dust in it. So let's say a deleted file, the dust will still be there, but it won't be seen by the needle anymore. Okay, there's a very easy way to explain that to you. So HDR has the picture, Colin. Always factory reset. Always use phones are going. All these phones are going bye-bye. Maybe I don't know. Hey, my sister finally got in there. Look at that. Mallory's account wasn't working, so she put a new one in. So everybody say good morning and hello to Deborah. That's my sister. We just call her Debbie, Deb for short. We went out the other day and had an amazing lunch. Got to spend a little time together. She wanted to go for a motorcycle ride, and we woke up and it was boom, boom, thunder, thunder, crack, crack, lightning, lightning. So we did not take the motorcycle out. We were going to go for a really nice long ride. I think that was on Thursday. So we have plans next Thursday to take the bike out, and I hope that does work out for us. I hope we're able to get out there and actually ride and take her for a ride. There you go. Everybody's saying good morning. Thank you very much for doing that for me. So anyway, let's talk a minute here about Colin, okay, Bronco Ride. And everybody knows his name because myself and Bodine told him he should rebrand his channel. It should be called Bronco Ride. It should be called Colin. Because when he gets on his bike, he's like, well, hey, YouTube, hey, it's Colin. So, anyway, just a little poking some fun there. So he texted last night and said, we have the fireside chat tomorrow night. So I hope all you folks can make it to that also. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what time that is in Australia, so maybe you guys can let me know that. I think it's very early in the morning, like 6 a.m., like 12 hours difference, but 6 a.m. like the next day. It's very interesting. When you do these broadcasts and you're kind of across the globe, even across the U.S., right, all the different time zones, it's very interesting getting hold of guests for these shows. Wait a minute, Bodine 52. HDR and Bronco Ride told me what happened on the ride stays on the ride. Yes, that is true, Jackie boy. So we won't tell anybody about what happened on our ride. Yeah, never mind. We'll let that go. And it's funny because I don't know where I was going with that. Do you use goes? Okay, Dragon Slayer. No. Use DuckDuckGo. I won't even get into that. This will turn into a computer show real quick. I don't want to do that. So everybody knows that Google tracks everything you do, and that's just, I always tell my kids, free on the internet is not free. Okay, there's nothing free. You're the commodity. You're what they're selling. So I just need to. Thank you. So believe it or not, when I got this box, I'm going to go back to what I started with here prior when we opened the show up. We were talking a little bit about Harley throttle juice. Okay. So he wanted to send out these packages to myself, Bodine 52, and Bronco Rod. So you'll probably also see these on the Fireside Chat with the boys tomorrow, I guess. And I opened this box up and I'm like, what the heck is that? Obviously, I mean, I know what it is, but it's like, why? So check this thing out. Huh? What do you think about that? Huh? That's not Mr. Kangaroo. That's Mrs. Kangaroo. You know why? She's got a pouch and a baby. Mr. Kangaroo doesn't have a pouch because he can't carry the baby. So she has the car seat, not him. So he go out with the other guy kangaroos and they can go partying. But all the women get together. They all have their babies with them right there. See the baby right there? So, but this came all the way from Australia, man. It's absolutely amazing. I can't tell you how many times we thanked Harley Throttle Juice for doing something so out of the ordinary, man. But we were talking about kangaroos on the show, and we all had this fascination about it. And he sent these to me. And what I'm going to do, I'm planning on getting a shelf, and I want to put it on my shelf behind me there, so it could be on like, join me for every stream, right? I was going to take it on the bike with me, and I thought, well, man, I could put her in a saddlebag, but, you know. And her name, just so you know, her name is Sheila. Okay, that's the kangaroo's name is Sheila. Okay, that's little Sheila. That's big Sheila. Okay, but he did send us that. That was super cool, and like I said, you know, it was an appreciative thing. He was very appreciative for being on the Fireside Chat with the boys, and we don't expect anything out of that. And it was just a very super nice gesture. Again, thank you so much. I wanted to put that on there, and just throw that out there. See, that's right. It's Sheila. That's the kangaroo's name, Sheila. Very, very sweet to send it out to us, man. And I guess you could say sweet to another guy, right? I mean, it was a very touching thing. But, you know, and he said he was very, very happy that we asked him to be on the Fireside Chat with the boys. And, you know, when we look for guests or when we look for people to be on, we've had a lot of different guests on there. We've had so many guests on there, myself, Bob, and Colin. We started a spreadsheet and we really can't even put all the names on it we had because we can't remember. We'd have to go back through all the live streams and try to find everybody and get them on there because we try not to duplicate anybody. You know, we may bring you back, but we love to bring everybody back multiple times. But we also like to spread it out there, and we love to get you know, get new people in there too. So. Anyway, so we're at the point here of the stream when I always do my station identification. So I'm going to do that right now. Thanks to Ty from Tennessee.
Hey everyone, this is Ty from Tennessee. You wanted the best, you got the best. It's time for Coffee with HDR.
All right. Again, that was my man Ty from Tennessee. So Ty actually had a couple great videos just released recently. Bob had a great video released recently. Colin would have a great video released soon, but his computer blew up. And that's what we're talking about now. So not getting back into too much computer stuff, but these are fair warnings to you from me, okay? My neighbor came over the other day. She had a problem with her computer, okay? She's getting ready to go to college, and she can't get any sound on YouTube. So I told her, I said, the best thing you do is bring it over. And the reason I tell you that is I told her this. I said, I don't know much in life, but I do know computers, okay? Pretty well. I've been doing it for a long time. So Colin had on there, what Colin had on, a friend from New Zealand who says, never trust people watch. Oh, Jackie boy, Jackie boy, Jackie boy. Why did that come up like that? I think that's not a bad comment. Anyway, Jackie boy, just to let you know, it hid your comment. So I don't know, like, is it a hate comment? I don't think it's a bad comment. Anyway, but I don't know why it hid that. Dragon Slayer, I think every place has a lot of problems. The U.S. does not. The U.S. suffers from some problems. Okay, so I don't think it's just Australia. I think every place. I mean, you know, Henry grew up in Puerto Rico, and he said Puerto Rico has a lot of problems. And Puerto Rico is now not a state of the U.S., but it is a region of the United States of America. Um, and it's weird. I'm not going to go there. That's kind of political, and I don't know anything about it anyway. No, it was a joke about origins of Australia. Okay, so I'll show it. Okay, I'm going to throw it up there. There you go. So Real Jackie Boy's comment was up there. To our Australian friends, he says, it's just a joke. Don't worry about it. He's just fooling around. Um, Jackie Boy must have said Pepsi. Yeah, Bob, Pepsi's like a bad word. No, I love Pepsi. Pepsi's the great. Michael Jackson loved Pepsi. He loved Pepsi so much it caught his hair on fire. He loved Pepsi. Remember that commercial? Anyway, getting back to Colin's problem. So Colin calls me and we start talking. He said, well, this is the first thing. I was going to take my computer to Best Buy to the Geek Squad. Folks, don't ever do that. I mean, whew. Look, what I would tell you to do is go in your town. I'm sure like I did for my motorcycle is look for an independent shop, independent computer shop. They'll help you out. When you go to Best Buy, they charge you $199 to look at your computer, okay? Just to simply go, just to kind of diagnose it and tell you what's wrong. Then they're going to hit you with the bill, okay? So, and now I know retail. I went through this with Jim and Anthony. We talked about how my local guy is charging me like $20 an hour labor to work on my Harley Davidson. And the dealer is charging $135 labor. But the dealer, everybody's got their hands in there, right? Just like Best Buy, you got to pay the managers. You got to pay the tech. You know, the tech gets $7. You know, the manager gets $20. The owner of that Best Buy gets, you know, the other $100. However it works. I understand. You got to keep the lights on. You got to keep the doors open. You got to keep the heat on. I get it, okay? But most problems like Colin's can be fixed with a phone call, okay? He called me up. I told him tomorrow when he's getting a new power supply. He had a power surge. Now, you folks out there that are sitting there on your computers right now and you have a great surge protector on there, you think, man, I paid $27 for this surge protector. Man, it's going to take care of me and it's going to save my life. Good luck. Okay, good luck. It's only going to do that if there's a direct lightning strike in front of your house because the voltage has to be high enough. The surge has to be strong enough to trip that internal fuse or internal breaker within that surge protector. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes enough energy gets through to blow your power supply. That's what happened to Colin. So what you want to do is spend a little bit of money on your protection, right? We all have protection. We have insurance on our cars. We have insurance on our motorcycles. We have insurance on our homes because it's we may never need it. We hope we don't, but we're protected. Buy yourself a battery backup. Okay. They start at about 50 or 60 bucks. And it's going to keep your computers, your electronics, everything that's important in your house at a constant voltage, right? And more than that, a constant current, okay? So you don't, everybody doesn't realize in your house, you kick air conditioners on, your furnace kicks on, and there's always fluctuations in power, even from the grid, even coming into your house. There's always little fluctuations. It's never a steady, perfect, 100% perfect current all the time because there's different usages at different times. That's how you get blackouts in towns, right? So with the backup battery, it keeps all your electronics current at a constant rate, and that's what you want. So I'm just throwing that out there for you. Dang, the surge protector fell safe and has all been a lie. I don't think it's so much of a lie, Bob, but I think what honestly is, what happens there is, people are misinformed. It's a misconception. Now, does it work? If you get a lightning strike on your property, like hit your roof, right? Hit your power lines in front of your house. That surge protector is going to boom. It's going to pop, and you're going to be pretty safe. You'll be fine. But with the fluctuations of current, and if you get we got surge. The reason I started putting backup batteries in my house, honestly, is we have a lot of power outages here. So power outages, the power company, somebody hits a telephone pole, right? Boom, your power's gone. They turn it back. So all your stuff goes, okay, now we're at work, right? We don't know we had a power outage. They turn it back on, boom, everything comes back up. All of a sudden it's getting all the power again. That's why you want to have a backup battery, just to keep that everything constant. So just be careful. Flat rate here is $145 an hour, Bob said, for I guess for maintenance work. No respect to Australians. That's not my intention, Dragon Slayer said, and that's wonderful. Yeah, we want to be, we are a very, very friendly channel here. All you guys and girls out there are very good people. I always say I look for very humble, kind, and positive people. I try to surround myself with positivity. Negativity, I used to deal with a lot of negativity. It doesn't work for me. It draws me down the wrong rabbit holes. Hence, that's why there's no Facebook on my phone anymore. Because every time I go through Facebook, I'd find too much negativity, and it was just dragging me down and making me feel like absolute garbage. And if you think social media can't make you feel good or bad, you have another thing coming to you. Social media drives a lot of people's lives, and it's just absolutely horrible. But anyway, let's see. You just bamboozled me, Jack. Can you come over and make sure I'm protected, Harley Thrall Juice? Harley Thrall Juice, my Mrs. HDR looked at flights to Australia. First thing is we found it's going to be, I think she said it's 19 hours on a plane from where we're at in the U.S. because we have to fly from here on the East Coast to California on the West Coast, get on another plane, then start flying your way. Not only that, the cheapest airfare we found was like $5,000 for one way. And I told her, so, well, we can move to Australia. We don't have to ever come back. I mean, I want to ride the Outback, right? I mean, how many times can I ride the Outback and do videos? Probably a lot, right? I think it would be awesome. We must have had 5. My youngest son, he's 27, loves when he has to go to Cleveland, Ohio to work. Always sends me, women loves K's. I love Micro Center. Man, I want to go to Micro Center. You know, I got another, like, I had to go to work Monday, and that's our last week off before school starts. So we were notified that myself and my co-teacher have to go in, and we have to organize some rooms or do something. So that's going to be on Monday. But I would love to go to Micro Center before I got to go back to work. I think I would spend probably, hundreds of dollars there before coming back home. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen at this point as far as going to Micro Center? Why is it hiding Goofy Bastard? That's just here. Let's show that. Goofy Bastard, good morning. Thank you for joining us here this morning, and welcome to the show. We kind of talked a lot about computer stuff here. Let's put one in Pittsburgh. We could be rich, HDR. Well, lovely Luella, you are the business person. I could be your technical advisor. And I think together, man, why we could put it in Pittsburgh, but I think for both of us, it'd be better to be in Washington County somewhere. Or even in Bedford, Bedford area, somewhere in the I don't care. I don't like Pittsburgh-based businesses because when we go to Pittsburgh, even when we go to the Strip, you can't find parking. When you do find parking, you're going to spend $10 or $20 to park there for a day. So Jackie, wonder if somebody parks for $20 and comes in and buys 3 microcontrollers for $3 a piece. We'd have to validate parking. So I don't like the city of Pittsburgh. Green Tree would be good. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Green Tree. That'd be a really good area. There's a big mall there that's pretty much gone. We could take over the whole mall and put a Micro Center in. Jack has G-rated filters on the show. Do I? Is that what's going on with it? Bronco Ride? I don't know what's going on with these chats. When you put stuff in there, probably good with this crowd. Yeah, Bob, you're right. It probably is a good idea. We should probably have that on the fireside chat too. G-rated. Well, you guys watch, last Saturday, man, I had like a spammer in there, man, dropping spam so fast I couldn't get rid of it. And that's just horrible. I wouldn't mind moving to Australia. I love Australia. And Judy says moving to Australia. HDR can have a parking lot and collect the $20 per car and come in our store. Win-win. You are a real business person. That's excellent, for sure. Do you see the new paint scheme Harley came out with yesterday? What's your opinion? I have not seen the new paint schemes. What model is it on? I don't know. Is it a CVO paint scheme? I'm not really sure what's going on there for sure. But, so that brings us to the point of the show where we probably should talk motorcycles at some point here. So the motorcycle community, it seems in a whole, has just been amazing to be around. and we've had a lot of fun together. And I think that's the enjoyable part of motorcycling is like-minded people getting together. We see that when we have a meetup. We see that when we're here talking on a live stream. You know, people that like motorcycles or people that just know me, like my sister knows me. She likes motorcycles, but she won't buy one, and I don't understand why. I think she should buy her own motorcycle. Don't you guys feel that? She should buy her own motorcycle and be able to enjoy the great outdoors on a motorcycle. But but um, it definitely brings like-minded people together, and I think because even if I pull in a gas station, I could walk up to anybody with a motorcycle and say, "Hey, how you doing? Are you you know, if they got luggage on you, you might say, "Are you going on a trip?" And they might tell you, "No, I just carry luggage around to make it look like I'm going on a trip." Because my bike, even when I went to VAM, I didn't have anything strapped on the bike because I put my tour pack back on, so I didn't need to strap a bag on. But how many times do you see a motorcycle going on the road with a piece of luggage strapped on the luggage rack? You would pretty much have the assumption, right, that they're going on a trip. And so if they stop somewhere and you say, "Hey, you know, where are you going?" Or um, there was a bike broke down just the other day, and we were in the car. And I told Miss Station, "Well, you know, it's proper. You may spook some people, but it's still proper to stop, right? And say, hey, you okay? You need some gas, maybe? I can take my car and go get you a can of gas and help you out because we're all part of this big community that's way bigger than any of us, okay? Um, you know, you take big name, we look at big name YouTubers, right? So I'm talking like John Maxwell was. You know, John Maxwell was one of the people that I always enjoyed watching his videos because he showed us stuff that he worked on motorcycles that I would never do. Um, but you would watch, it's just interesting stuff, the way he talked about it and his passion for fixing motorcycles, you know. And then he went off on his own, created his own shop and thought, man, I'm going to do a lot of YouTube videos. He put studio lighting in his garage. He put different cameras up all over for different angles when he's working. And then his garage got too busy, so guess where his YouTube channel went? Kind of went away. But I guarantee any one of us can walk into John Maxwell's garage and strike up a conversation with him about YouTube or about doing video, and he's going to talk to you. He'll probably talk your leg off. You know, same with Adam Sandoval. And I picture Adam Sandoval now, really, guys, and you know, he's a YouTube star, but we went to the pawn store one time in Las Vegas, the pawn shop. Well, you don't go in the pawn shop and see the TV stars there. And I kind of think that's how Adam Sandoval's, and I've never been there, but I kind of picture that's how his campground's now. Like you would go there for a week's vacation thinking, man, I'm going to get to talk to Adam and see Ashley and, you know, all these stars on his show. And you go there and they're not going to be present. They're going to kind of be hidden away, or he may be on a trip somewhere, right? Because he does a lot of location shooting. So, but I'm sure if he is there, you see him, I'm sure he'll talk to you, shake your hand, you know, and you can hang out with them. So, because it's a motorcycle community, and I think that's what I'm getting at. It doesn't really matter. Um, I used to be a road tech, and every time I saw a bike at a gas station, I'd have to strike a conversation. Jackie said, yeah, I do that too. And Mrs. HR will be like, you're walking over to that motorcycle, aren't you? And I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to. Okay, she says she'll take her helmet off and her jacket because she knows we're going to be there for about a half hour. So, unless they're in a hurry. Cases like that, you don't need to be a community. You just need to be a decent human. Judy, and you're right. And you know, unfortunately, in today's society, I don't want to say it's the wrong way. Sometimes I think decency is not where it should be. Everybody is so worried about themselves and their time constraints, and they're doing this, and it is. You see it, and you know, because you always hear, like, you call them up, hey, let's go for a ride, because Anthony does it to me. And what's the first thing out of my mouth? Anthony, I'm busy. I'm always busy, you know. And it's not that I don't have consideration for him, but getting to the people are scared to pull over to help somebody, especially if you see a motorcycle. That's a gang member, right? It could be a doctor, a lawyer, it could be an attorney, it could be a plumber, it could be an auto tech, it could be me, some computer guy, right? But as soon as they see that Harley Davidson, you're a gang member. They pull over to help you, you're going to carjack them, right? They're not going to help you. So I think there's also a what am I looking for? Um, you know, a stigma around. I still think there's a stigma around motorcyclists. Unless you're standing there, you're on your bike, you're going to a business meeting, and you're wearing your three-piece suit. Now you might have more people stopping. They might be like, "Hey, that's a business guy. They're on that motorcycle." So you get the idea. So it's kind of what I feel like. Lovely Llewellyn at HDR 100%. Yeah, but you know, I don't know, and I think there are still. Don't get me wrong. There's still very, very decent people. There's very kind people. I got 48 of you viewing right now that are very humble and kind. You're here every week. I watch you chat. Nobody gets nasty with any of us, and we all have a good time, right? We hang out together. And Miss HDR said that I can walk up to anybody anywhere and strike up a conversation, and I do that often, and I don't need to know you. And I think and she said, "Why do you do that?" And I said, "Well, how will you ever know people?" And she said, "Well, maybe you don't want to know them." I said, "Maybe not, but if you don't say hello, how do you know if you ever want to know that person or not?" Right? Makes sense. But back to anything, even if you see somebody broke down in a car with their hood up, it's one thing if they're changing the tire. I'm probably not going to stop. They already have it under control. They're changing their flat tire. And it's very dangerous to stop on the side of the road, right? So we have to be very careful. But even if you can get over far enough and you can get your four ways on to keep the traffic behind you from them, maybe they're broke, their car won't start, so they can see you. That's a good thing, right? So, but where has all the decency gone? And somebody said earlier about problems in Australia. There has been more problems in the United States of America over the past 5 years, maybe even 10, that I have ever seen in my entire lifetime. And I don't know what that is. I don't know why. I don't know how to relate to it. So I tell everybody, buy a motorcycle and go riding and don't bother anybody. The best time, the most humblest time, the most kind time that I've seen in this world there was two that I remember very, very passionately. One was 9/11, right? Big tragedy, major tragedy. Something bad happened to America. All of a sudden, we all have our flags out and we're singing Kumbaya on the streets and we're loving each other. Okay? Well, we never forget. Don't get me wrong. You're never going to forget. I always remember where I was that day. But time changes everybody. Things pass on. Now everybody goes back to grumbling, grumpy, crazy, busy people. Then a pandemic hits, right? 2020, 2019, 2020. We're all locked in our house. All of a sudden, man, we're playing trumpets out in New York City on our balconies. We're singing, we're getting free concerts from all the big name stars on TV because they're at their home studios and have nothing better to do. Again, everybody in the street, everybody in your house looking out the window, hanging your flags, singing Kumbaya. Okay? We were all humbled again. So does the United States need to be humbled every so many years? Is that what it is? We're not humbled enough? Because I guarantee you one thing, when everybody's locked in their house, the murder rate went down. I know accidents went down. We went to the local body shop, and they said they are hurting for business because there was no car wrecks. There was nobody driving. So these are things, fix it once, interact with people at a time, HDR, good points. Fix it one time and one interaction with people. Yeah, and that's exactly right, Bob. I think you hit the nail on the head there. So, and I don't mean to be like, this show has nothing to do with preaching anything, these are just things that I bring up on these shows, and you guys know that's been here long enough. The chat room drives this. I just basically, best part about the road trip is talking to people. Harley Roadshow said they do it all the time. Man, if you're not watching, the Harley Roadshow and Throttle Juice, watch them, because when they stop in these towns, man, they talk. Hey, bloke, or hey, mate, how you doing? The Harley Roadshow, I watched him one day. The little kid came up, was interested in his motorcycle. He set the kid on his motorcycle. That's being a very humble and kind person. He didn't say, "Get away from me, kid, get out of here," and, you nasty little thing. He didn't say that. He talked to the mom. He said, "Mom, do you mind if he sits on the motorcycle?" She goes, "Oh, he'll be thrilled to death to do that." And he let him do that, right? So that's what we got to get back to. Got to say, the lockdown in Australia, it was ramped up by the moto community because we bunkered down and started consuming each other's content. Yeah, I think that's true, Harley Throttle Juice. And there was times, I know in Bob's state, and I only know this because people that are closest to me in Michigan, when the lockdown happened, the governor said no motorcycles allowed on the street. That's confusing. You can't be any more secluded or alone than being on a motorcycle by yourself riding out in the country. Who are you going to bother? And I understand we don't want to tax the ERs if you wreck. I don't plan on wrecking every time I leave my house with a motorcycle. I try not to do that. That'd be like telling the pilot, every time you go up, how many people are you taking with you? And the pilot goes, well, 103. Well, hopefully we don't lose that 103 today. He doesn't plan on crashing a plane every day. That's just not in his thought process. He wants to get home to his lovely family at night, right? But I think I beat that to death. You should tell the deer that, yeah, the deer. Well, hey, we got to hunt deer. Somebody has to hunt deer. Get off my lawn. It's still appropriate, I say. Experience as a majority of Americans are very nice people really is true. And Wayne Jarvis Biker, you are right. You are right. And it's funny because we took our motorcycles out to South Dakota where Sturgis is happening like right now, I think. I think it's getting ready to happen. Mrs. HDR said when you go to South Dakota on a motorcycle, the people out there are so passionate about being so kind to motorcyclists. Like you'd come up to an intersection, a four-way intersection, and if there's 3 cars in you, everybody's letting you go. They want us there in South Dakota. Okay, even when it's not Sturgis Rally, and when it is Sturgis Rally, a lot of them people actually pack up and go somewhere else for a week or two. But I'm just saying that they know that we're their biggest tourism in South Dakota. If you've never been there, go there, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The riding is absolutely amazing around there. There's so many great roads and so much to see. So many years, myself and Miss HDR would see pictures of Mount Rushmore, or somebody like a vacation movie and they're at Mount Rushmore. So we always want, until you see it in person, you'll never get the true magnitude of the sheer size. And go into the museum and you can see how those guys hung up here on ropes carving that thing, one chisel at a time. So a very interesting place to go. Big Bert's in the house. Good morning. Goofy Bastard, good morning to you. I'm just seeing if I missed anybody there. Dusty Chronicles, hello. I see you in there. Motorcycles are those that ride them are more often than not random conversation starters, especially the kids. Yeah, so, and if we conversation, and Jarvis Biker, good morning to you too, if I missed you in there. The conversation with young kids, if you ever want to make sure that our hobby is going to have a long longevity of life, right? Longevity of life is to make sure that the younger people coming up, like my grandson is 2 years old, and he was so cute because he always, every time he comes, motorcycle, I want to see the motorcycle. So I take him down and open the garage. Well, I took him down the last time, opened the garage up, and I said, what kind of motorcycle is that? And he looked at me kind of curious in his eyes, his head tilted a little bit, and I said, it's a Harley motorcycle. Okay, so he goes back up in the house. I wait about 10 minutes and I say, hey, tell Mimi, that's what they call Miss here, tell her what kind of motorcycle does Pap have? He goes, Harley motorcycle. And that was just the cutest thing, and he remembers it to this day. It's our Harley. I don't know how to spell that, but that's his rendition of the word Harley. He doesn't say Davidson, but that's okay. Be there RPA. Next year, HDR, 3-week trip. You in? 3 weeks. Let me think about that. We have some time to worry about that one. Jarvis Biker is going to Bike and Blues and Barbecue in October. Yeah, I thought that looked really good. Bikes, blues, and barbecues. I love blues. I think the blues is some greatest music. It's right up there, believe it or not. At VAM, they had a guy playing there on Saturday. We didn't see him, unfortunately. But bluegrass. I used to go to bluegrass festivals here in Pennsylvania all the time. They would have those, and they would have there'd be like 9 or 10 different bluegrass bands. They would start at about noon on the back of a tractor, a flatbed tractor trailer truck. They had beer trucks and food trucks and all this food and desserts, and you can sit outside and listen to all the bluegrass bands. So it was really, really good. I love a good banjo, man. I tried playing a banjo at Guitar Center, didn't go too well. What is there? 4 strings on it? 5 strings on a banjo? Yeah, it didn't go well at all. It looks easy, right? Like the bass guitar, boom, 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 boom. It looks really easy. Not really easy. Really hard. The Sturgis Rally, Goofy Bastard says Sturgis official off rally is on my bucket list. Nothing better than live music during. Yeah, you're right. I love live music, man. I think it's great. The rally promote the barbecue in the area, and you want to come back to it. The real Jackie boy, my 2-year-old grandson, will go to all our bikes and point to them, saying, "Pappy's bike, Grammy's bike, Daddy's bike." That is it's just so awesome for these little kids. And like I said, we're making future bikers. And when I told my kids, as soon as he can ride a bicycle, he's going to be on some kind of a motorized bike. And they're like, "What? No way." And I was like, "Well, I guess I have to watch him when they go to work and get him out back on, on a little dirt bike, maybe a little 50cc or something in the backyard, and start getting them interested in the hobby." And what's even more fun with the kids, go in the garage with them and open up the engine, let them see what's in it. And we're definitely, and many people hear me say this about Bingo, but we're definitely going to have to go see Be the Rider PA over the winter, because I told you, he tears his motorcycle all down. He cleans all the pistons. He shines up the inside the crank cases, stuff that we don't think about. But he's a really seasoned military mechanic from decades ago, and he just likes to do that. So maybe he'll tear mine down this winter and clean all the pistons and the gears and whatever's in there. But that's just a happy thought. Yes, they got kicked off of Facebook and came to YouTube. Who got kicked off of Facebook? Sturgis says, "I have to. At least once. I have been twice." Sturgis, we went to Sturgis, and I'm sure I told this story many times on my videos at one point or another. And I did a whole series at Sturgis, but we went 2 weeks before the rally, and I was really happy we did. The couple that we went with were a little bit older, and they don't like crowds. And the guy, he was a truck driver his whole life, and he was kind of a loner. He didn't want to be bothered with all those crowds and fighting. And so I've never been to Sturgis during the rally. This is what I've heard. So we were renting hotel rooms all around South Dakota for $80 to $100 a night. Now, I understand when the rally comes into town, those same hotels go to like $500 a night. And so that's one reason I don't want to go, because of the price gouging. I don't think that's right. I know there's only limited places to stay. But, that's my point. I like going 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after. You can still buy the t-shirts. Everything's still there. A lot of the shops in town may not be there because they're only open for 2 weeks a year. Wouldn't that be a great business, Jackie, for us to have? Go to South Dakota, get one of those little stores, and we'll sell gremlin bells. What do you think? That's all we'll sell for 2 weeks. Then we'll close and be able to ride motorcycles across the country the rest of the year, right? There'd be at least six of us, maybe more, because you got Jackie, you got Jackie boy, you got Jackie, you got Sean, you got his wife, you got myself, Miss HDR, and we would just live on the bikes. Good times, huh? The best way to grow this community is to be a great example. You're right. That's the biggest thing. Be a great example. Thanks, Bob Nelson, for that. Sturgis is America for the riders. And I seen something the other day, and you guys know, I told Colin this morning, I'm very opinionated, believe it or not. And sometimes I get over aggressive with opinionation. I'm working on that. I'm trying to live my I don't care attitude in my life, where, if you have a different opinion, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Who cares? We have to have we're different people. But anyway, what I was getting at real quick is, so I was been really opinionated in the past about trailering your motorcycles. And people will say that now, and it's funny because I watch Facebook, sometimes. I don't have it on my phone, but I still look at it on the computer. I have to, right? I post on it for my videos. Is that this? People would be putting their bikes on trailer and why don't you ride it? You should ride a motorcycle to Sturgis. The truth is, Sturgis is far away for a lot of people. It took us 3 days to get there by motorcycle, right? 4 days to come home because we really took our time. But 3 days getting there, and we were riding, with the other couple, they couldn't do too much. So 300 miles a day, roughly 250, 300 a day. Well, if you only have a 7-day vacation that you're going to Sturgis, you want to enjoy everything at Sturgis and ride the roads, and go ahead and trailer your bike. Throw it up on your car, get 2 drivers, or put it up on your truck. Get 2 drivers and head out there. But then people start putting, oh, Sturgis is nothing but a trailer rally. It's a rally of trailers. Who gives a crap, right? Who cares? Once you get there, if you're on 2 wheels, I'm going to give you the peace sign. So I think that's the bottom line, right? So I hope we had a great time today. The key to respect is acknowledging other people's opinions. You're right, Monkey7055. Thank you for joining us this morning. But what I'm going to tell you guys right now is Bronco at HDR opinionated. Never would have thought. And see, I would have never thought either that I have any opinions, right? I'm not opinionated. I could be opinionated, but I'm not going to voice it anymore. I'm trying to curve my ways, right? I teach kids, and I'm not allowed to be opinionated with the kids, right? I show you how to do something, you do it. That's just life. But what I'm going to tell you guys right now is, as we say every week, right? I'm going to go peace like that. Peace out, right? Like we do when we ride motorcycles. Peace, I don't know. Is it peace? Some people do this, right? Right? Some people do that. Peace. Pete's 1800. He said the Forrest Gump wave. Hey, how you doing? So that was Pete's 1800. I don't know why he did it, but he did it. So, but everybody, thank you so much for being here once again. I do appreciate it. Ty, again, thank you so much for the opener. I will be sending somebody out there an Instagram message, so please watch your Instagram, man. Watch it. I send stuff all the time to people, keep up on the Instagram stuff. I turn my alerts on just so I don't miss anything anymore, but that's how I try to get a hold of the biking community for those intros. And I got to keep a list of those now. So tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the fireside chat with the boys. You got the 3 crazy whacked out guys back with you once again. And we have Harley Girl come to you live in living color from Canada. I got to meet her at VAM, as well as Jarvis and the rest of their gang. Their Canadian gang came down. Great people, awesome people to hang out with. So I thought they would be great. So she's going to be my guest tomorrow. And we have Jarvis in the lineup. So I think that's going to be awesome also. But thanks everybody. Again, I'm very humbled each week. Everybody shows up. And I hope all you are humbled and kind. We talked a lot today about nothing, but I hope it's sunk in. How about that? Take care, everybody. And I will talk to you next Saturday. I'll talk to you tomorrow night, because the fireside chat is back on this channel. So check it out on Harley Day Rider. Okay. Talk to you next time. Remember, until then, ride your own ride. Be safe out there, but go out and ride, man. Have a great time. Harley Day Rider will be down and out in the beautiful HDR studios here in southwestern Pennsylvania. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye. Tomorrow. You get it. Bye. I need closing music for all the days you can.
Hey everyone, this is Ty from Tennessee. You wanted the best, you got the best. It's time for Coffee with HDR.